Okay. It's never on. Nice. Oh. Yeah. Let's freaking go. That was sick.
Second time I went back. Second time I took it. Come on.
Let's freaking go.
Oh, man.
I wanted to do that Rabona just to sprinkle the salt on top.
I should have done LB early.
Dang it, that's not on.
I would have done LB.
Bro, I just made him fall. Oh my gosh. Bro, I literally broke his ankles. Hey everyone, this is Lesky here, back with another FIFA 21 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a Ronaldo Nazario build, aka R9 or Ronaldo FENOMENO. This build was requested in the comments by a viewer in one of my recent player builds. So if y'all have any other ideas of what other builds I should do in the future, feel free to put it in the comments. I'm working on doing a Samuel Eto'o next, guys, so that'll be most likely the next build that I come out with, but still put it in the comments and I'll see if I can get to those builds in the future. You'll just have to be a little bit patient with me because it does take a lot of time to get footage for these builds and then edit the video, guys. So you're going to have to be a little bit patient with me for these build videos, but I will try and get them out as fast as possible for you guys. So now let's move on to this build. So I tried to get this R9 build as close as possible to some of his cards on Ultimate Team. So basically a problem that I ran into when making this build is that R9 stats are pretty cracked on his Ultimate Team cards, and he has the 5-star weak foot, the 5-star skills, the finesse shot trait, and he's really fast, he's got a bulky body type, and he's strong. So it's almost impossible to get all that stuff into one build. So what I had to do was go with a 5'10" instead of 6 foot, because when you make a guy 6 foot and 174 pounds as a center forward, they are just not fast enough. It's like in the 80s. So I made it 5'10", 174 pounds because I wanted to get that bulky look like R9 has. So I wanted to keep that. So I just brought him down a couple inches. I know Ronaldo is 6 foot in real life, but we had to make him 5'10", otherwise he's just not nearly as fast enough, and it's just not good enough for FIFA 21 Pro Clubs, and also the stats just aren't good enough to like compete with his Ultimate Team card, because his Ultimate Team cards have way over 90 pace and pretty much I think every single one of his cards. So what we went with is 5'10", 174 pounds. Let me show you this height and weight page. So that's what you're going to want to go for, 5'10", 174 pounds. Again, if you make them 6 foot, they're going to be really slow. You can try it, but he's just not going to be fast enough. So that's what we have for the height and weight, guys. Let's move on to the skill tree now. Alright guys, over here on the skill tree, as you guys can see, my playstyle name is R9. I have him listed as a center forward, which we'll go into more, because he usually plays striker, obviously, when he was in real life, and all of his cards in Ultimate Team are listed as a striker, but I'll explain that more just because like the center forward makes his stats more identical to his actual cards, because the passing is better on a center forward, and we want to get that up because R9's passing on his other cards are actually pretty decent. And strikers just have terrible passing, so we went with the center forward, and also center forwards are a little pacier, I do believe, so that's also another reason why we went with the center forward build. Height 5'10", not 6 foot like I said earlier, and we went for 174 pounds just to get that little bit of bulk on him, so it'll actually look like R9. So now going to the skill tree, we are on the physical page first. On this right side, we went all the way down to the second wind. Again, like I say this in every single build video, I always have second wind, but unless you play any and you aren't using your guy very much because you are playing any, so you're not going to be controlling your guy all the time, I would suggest taking off second wind and then adding some more skill points. You can add some more strength or jumping if you'd like. I don't know. You can figure that out yourself. But yeah, I would just take the second wind off if you're an innie, because you probably won't be running out of stamina since you're not going to be controlling your player. But for all the players that aren't being an innie and they're just using their Pro Clubs build, this is what I have. I have the whole right side with the second wind except this stamina advanced focus. And then R9 is usually has some pretty good strength. I'm pretty sure he has like over 80 strength in most of his cards on Ultimate Team. So we tried to get it up as much as we possibly could. And this is what we got. We got 77 strength. It's not over 80, but it's kind of the closest we could get for a 5'10 guy that's 174 pounds. Obviously, you could bump it up one more and then maybe even another one or even more right here. But again, as you guys will see, it's really hard to get all these skill points to make an R9 build. Very difficult. Probably one of the most difficult builds I've done just because his insane stats and then the 5-star. So now moving on to defending. There's obviously not anything on defending. We're going to leave that alone. Going to dribbling now. So with the dribbling, we went with the 5-star skills and the flare trait. He has the flare trait. Even if he didn't have the flare trait, I would probably still put it on because it's just so overpowered. You need to have the flare trait on in your pro clubs builds. I would highly recommend it. I pretty much have it on in every single build I've done, I do believe. Maybe one build I don't have it. Not too sure about that. But on this left side, it's a little bit different than some of my builds because I went with the 5-star weak foot and the flare trait, but I actually took off this balance one that gives you +2 balance. So it'll give us 87 agility and 87 balance, but that's really just for skill point reasons and trying to get this build as close as possible to R9. You'll see further as we go as to why I actually did that. But I guess if you wanted to, you could take off the flare trait and add this, but it's just +2 balance. I don't think it'll make it too much of a difference. And 87 looks really nice, honestly. Nice and even stats for agility and balance. They're exactly matching. So now moving on to passing. Actually, before we're moving on to passing, let me just explain how good this dribbling build is. Like with this strength, this 77 strength, it's actually not too bad. And with the 87 balance and 87 agility, and you got that 174 pounds, and you're pretty tall, you're 5'10", you can actually body people off, and you're actually pretty agile, and you can juke a lot of people out if you do a lot of skill moves. So if you're going to have the 5-star skills, you need to be at least utilizing the 5-star skills, or it will be a waste. Otherwise, you should just go for the 4-star skills. But definitely give it a try, trying to juke people out and use some skill moves with this build, like R9 did in real life when he used to play. So now moving on to passing. Over here on passing, we don't have anything, but it's not too bad of passing stats. We got 85 short pass, 72 long pass isn't great, and then we got 80 vision. Not terrible, but not great either. Again, we couldn't really afford to put anything on the passing just because what we have on the shooting and pace. So now let's move over to the shooting and pace. Since we don't have anything on the passing, it's nice and quick. Okay guys, here on the shooting page, like I said earlier, we do have the 5-star weak foot, which took up a lot of skill points. So we went with the 5-star weak foot, got this weak foot on the left, and got this weak foot in the center section. And that's pretty much it. Just go for the weak foot and then don't get anything extra. So what this will give us is 95 finishing, which is amazing. 84 heading, actually pretty solid for a center forward. 83 shot power, actually not too bad for pro clubs. A lot of y'all's builds probably don't even have over 80 shot power unless you're a bigger and bulkier build. Like all the shorter, faster, skinnier builds have like 70 shot power, or like in the middle, in the mid 70s. Like pretty weak shot power compared to this. So the shot power is actually pretty nice. And then again, the best thing about this is obviously the 5-star weak foot, because you can pretty much you can shoot with either foot, on your left, on your right. You're deadly in the box because any angle you can shoot. You don't have to worry about your weak foot. You got 91 long shots and 90 volleys, so definitely give long shots a try because you also have that 83 shot power, and it can work out pretty well for you. So this is what we have on the shooting page, guys. Oh yeah, and one thing I mentioned earlier is that R9 does have the finesse shot trait in Ultimate Team on his cards, but it's just literally not possible to get the 5-star weak foot, the 5-star skills, all the pace we have, some of the strength, the dribbling. It's just really not possible. You don't have enough skill points. Maybe if they gave us 120 skill points or something like that, which I think would actually be pretty interesting if EA did that, gave us a little bit more skill points as the year progresses. But whatever, they're probably not even going to touch pro clubs, which is kind of sad to hear. So this is it for shooting. Now let's move on to the pace, which will be the last section for this build. Alright guys, with the pace, as you guys can see, we have it fully maxed out on this build, and it's still not like crazy fast. For being 5'10", 174 pounds, you would think it would be a little bit faster. And this is also one of the main reasons why I have him as a center forward, for the passing, obviously, and then also for the speed, because center forwards are a little bit faster than strikers, like their base stats. So that's why we have it at center forward. And that's the fastest you can get it to keep them at a decent height and a stocky weight. This is what we have them at. And it'll get us to 91 acceleration, 88 sprint speed. Not the best sprint speed, I know that, guys, but this is what we have to deal with in order to get all this stuff for an R9 build. But that pace is honestly pretty good, really good, honestly, in my opinion. Like, it's not, you're not going to notice too much of a difference or too much of a problem with this pace, guys. I think 88 sprint speed pretty much outruns every single computer player in Division 1, so that's good. Obviously, there's going to be some players that have like 97 pace, but most likely they will be strikers, so they won't be on defense. There might be like a wingback on defense that's really fast, but again, you have those skills to juke them out and that strength over them most likely. So it's really not too bad of a pace. It doesn't hinder this build that much, and it's honestly very usable. So I really like this build because it's honestly just like a bowling ball. You're really stocky and like you don't really get pushed off the ball very much. And you can just like win those like 50-50s where it's just like a cluster, the ball's like bouncing around. I've noticed that this R9 build like ends up winning those battles and just coming out with the ball, and just I end up scoring a stupid goal out of it because it's honestly kind of luck. But maybe it's just because of the stocky build and this 174 pounds and that 77 strength. I don't know what it is, but I've noticed that a lot, that I just come out of those little weird, awkward situations with the ball over like my opponent. So that's going to wrap up this R9 build. It is a very good build that you can use in top divisions. I use it in Division 1 and did very well with it. Let me know in the comments what y'all think of this build and how it worked for you, if y'all tried it out, and maybe what other stuff y'all could have tweaked to make this build a little better. Let me know. I would like a little bit of criticism and some suggestions, but I really think this is the best possible R9 build you could make, with the stats being similar to his stats on Ultimate Team and still keeping that bulky body type. I think I did the best I possibly could to make this build, guys. Please hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed this video. And also, could you hit that subscribe button on my channel? I would greatly appreciate that, because I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the next 2 months. Because what that'll do, once I get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, I'll actually get a chance to have my videos monetized and possibly earn some money on my videos, which is what I've been working for about 2 years now since I started my YouTube channel, guys. And that would be a great help if y'all could hit that subscribe button, guys. If y'all are still here at the end of this video, I do love you guys and appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Stay to the end to watch the rest of these clips, and y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out. Chip it over that red dude's head, like to his left shoulder. See him running over the red dude. Yeah, guy right there. Yeah, put it over there in that space. Like, yeah, just try it.
As far as I can go.
Let's freaking go.
Oh my gosh, this is insane.
Let's go, man. Oh my gosh, what is happening?
This is the craziest game.
I'm so surprised that header went in. I could have easily took a touch, but I was like, screw it.